channel and welcome to another interesting video. Today we'll learn how to make this beautiful dress. It's a dress with an upper chest cut, so we have to make the pleats on the upper chest. And to make this dress we'll need our bodice pattern, African print fabric, and we use the glittered tulle fabric. So I have 1 meter of my tulle, and this is 3 yards of African print fabric, and I'm using my bodice pattern, the front and the back bodice, and my basic tools. So without further ado, let's begin. So the first bit will be to trace out our bodice pattern. We're only going to trace from the shoulder line to the upper chest, okay? And we'll add ½ inch for our seam allowance all round. We're going to trace this on both front and back. So for the sleeve, we're going to cut directly on the tulle fabric. I already told you in my previous videos of how to cut your 360 degrees flare deriving the radius. So to derive the radius to cut your flare, you just need to divide the circumference by 6.28. I've explained that in my video of how we arrived at the 6.28. So I'm not going to go in details. So for this, I'm using this fabric and I'm cutting straight on this fabric. So what we'll do here is to fold the fabric into 4. Now I'm using this for both sleeves, okay? So it's already on fold, and each of these will be for each of the sleeves, okay? So that's my tulle fabric, and it's on fold to get your 2 sleeves. Now once you get your fabric, you just fold into 4. So I just fold like that, and I'll fold again. So my armhole circumference is 19 inches, and I'm going to add 1 inch to that for seam allowance, which will make it 20 inches. So if I divide 20 inches by 6.28, I'll get 3.18, okay? So I'll just approximate that to 3.5, or you can do it 3.25, okay? So that will be 3 1/4 on your tape inches. So just measure 3 1/4 inches on the tape, okay? And that will be there. So mark it. Then connect your dots and cut. After that, we measure the sleeve length. I'm working with a sleeve length of 11 inches. Okay, so we measure that and mark it along this line. Just mark it all round. Connect the dots. Then cut. So what we can do here is to reduce the underarm of the sleeve, as in the part that goes on the bottom of the sleeve. You can reduce the length. Okay, so just reduce it by 3 inches. Or you can reduce by 2.5, whatever you wish. Then you're going to just try to blend the side into that point where you reduced. This is the part that goes on the bottom of the sleeve. If you like, you can leave it like that, but when you reduce it, it gives it a beautiful fit. That's for me. That's how I prefer to do it. So just blend that into the sides of the sleeve, and you're going to cut through that bottom side. So when you're sewing, this is where we'll go at the bottom of your sleeve, and the sleeve is ready now. So next we're going to cut the piece of African print fabric that goes on the edge of this sleeve. Okay, to cut that piece, you need to cut in bias form, so because it's going to blend into a circle. So if you're cutting any piece of strip of fabric that goes along a circle, it's better to cut it on bias form so that it blends in nicely. If you cut it straight, you might struggle and you have some rumples on it, because cutting it on in bias form makes it a bit stretchy and it can blend and go nicely around the circle. So cut your strip in 2-inch. I already made a video on how to cut bias strips, is on the channel, so it's going to be easy for you if you want to cut in continuous length. So I'll just go ahead and cut my bias strips of 2-inch. I've gone ahead to cut my 2-inch strips, and I cut in continuous length. So just set this aside, and this will be for the edge of our sleeve. Now on the bodice, we're going to cut out our pattern. So get our piece of fabric, I will fold into 2 to cut the pattern. So this will be for the back piece, and we're cutting and leaving out 1 inch or 1.5 for our zipper allowance. Okay, so this is the pattern. So place that on the fabric, and we're leaving out from that center back, we're leaving out 1.5 or 1 inch for our zipper allowance. Then we'll cut. Then for the pleats, we're going to take away the upper chest measurement from the full length of the dress. So our full length is 40 inches, and we're going to take away 7 inches, which is the upper chest measurement, from 40 inches. So we have 33 inches. So that will be the full length of our pleats. Okay, so the pleated part of the dress. We'll measure 33 inches, and we're going to add 2 inches. So ½ inch will be for the seam allowance to join the pleats to the upper chest, and the other 1.5 will be to hem the bottom of the dress. So that's a total of 35 inches, and that's what I've measured there. So that's a length of 35 inches. Then the width of our pleat will be our hip circumference times 2. Okay, modify to suit your preference. If you want it full or a bit scanty, so you can reduce further or increase it. But before we join the pieces, you just need to cut the lining for each of this pattern. So just watch closely. I'm just going to show you how I'll sew each of these pieces. If you have any questions, you can drop them in comments. I will link all the videos I mentioned in this video. I'm going to attach the link in the description of this video. You can refer to them to catch up on how to draft the bodice pattern, how to make the 360 degrees flare, and every other video I mentioned. Okay, just watch closely and see how I'll join each of these pieces. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. Turn on the notification bell so you can watch my other videos. So attach our Ankara to the hem of the sleeves, just like a patch. Once you've sewn that around the edges of the sleeve, you're just going to fold. Just fold like that, and you're going to fold by 1/4 of an inch in, and you do a top stitch. So now the upper part is ready. These are our sleeves. This is the front and that's the back. That's what it looks like. So now we'll attach the bottom part. Okay, so I've already cut out the piece that I'll be using for the bottom. So what I need to do now is to pin it. Just pin it to the front. So I cut it in continuous length. Okay, I cut the hip circumference ×2. So you can either do hip circumference ×2, or you do waist circumference ×3, or you can do, or you measure an average of between 40 to 45 inches ×2. It works for most adults. So pin it to the center front, then you're going to pleat. So pleat it all round. So you can do kiss pleats, do kiss pleats or you just do normal pleats, whichever you like. So you're going to pleat around the upper chest cut, that's how you cut. You're going to pleat it all around. Keep pleating until you get to the zipper allowance. So you pleat all the way to the zipper allowance, then from the left side you continue pleating until you get to the zipper allowance as well, and that's it. So once you've done that, you can decide to sew on your lining or leave it like that, depends on the fabric you're using. Then you attach your zipper at the back and the dress is ready. That's how easy it is to make this dress. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate your time. Please subscribe to my channel if you've not done already. Turn on the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.